So, as we heard earlier this year, Goldman Sachs wants out of the Apple Card relationship after losing over $6 billion since 2020 with its consumer product, and it looks like Chase is up to bat to acquire the Apple Card and all of its consumers, and I think it's going to be a good thing. Let's talk about it. So you might have seen in the news and things percolating that Chase is very interested in acquiring the Apple Card, and I think this is going to be an amazing thing for pretty much everybody involved, right? Goldman Sachs took a chance and jumped into this consumer world, which they're not super familiar with because they just wanted to partner up with somebody like Apple and see what that looked like. And for the most part, on the Apple side and from a user standpoint, the Apple Card was a great success when it comes to a credit card overall. Now, it's not the best credit card, and we all know from a travel and points perspective that there's better cards out there that acquire points and accumulate points, and there's cards with sign-up offers and things like that. But if you really start to break down and just look at the Apple Card in a silo, for a zero-fee annual card, it really isn't that bad, right? You get 3% cash back on all Apple products, the ability to finance on an interest-free basis on Apple hardware, then you also get 2% cash back on any Apple Pay transaction, which for the most part here in the US, we are now getting to 90% of all merchants accepting Apple Pay. And then lastly, if you do have to use a physical card, then you get 1% cash back on everything else. And the kicker on here is the UI and the experience of paying off your Apple Card. Not only that, but then also getting that cash back on a daily basis that can then be used the very next day through the Apple Cash app. So a lot of good things on the Apple Card front, especially from a user experience standpoint and the ease of use and the education that comes with it when it comes to paying off the Apple Card on time and in full, and if you don't, showing you the consequences of what that means from an interest standpoint. But now some people seem to be worried, especially current Apple Card users or people that have just applied for the Apple Card and gotten approved, that the card might be taken away during this acquisition or during this transition period. So first and foremost, there is no need to worry when it comes to the Apple Card going down. Apple spent too much time, money, and resources to just let this product die, so definitely don't worry about maybe the Apple Card closing out and things like that. And then also, if it does get acquired by somebody like Chase, there's not going to be a lot of changes that happen, especially to the main and core features of the Apple Card. I still believe that it's going to be the easiest card to manage and use with your iPhone. It's going to be very easy to pay off the card. I still think that the 3% cashback on all Apple products, the 2% cashback on Apple Pay, and the 1% cashback on everything else is going to stick around. The only thing that's really going to change is probably going to be the perks and benefits that surround it and that go all around the Apple Card. So some things to take into account that could change are probably that high yield savings account offer. As of right now, I actually believe it changed to 4.25% from 4.35%. So it has been going down little by little, but I could see Chase maybe cutting that in half because Chase is not known for a high yield savings account as of today. Or maybe they'll use it to stand up that product a little bit and use that as the poster child for their personal high yield savings account, similar to how Goldman Sachs already uses Betterment as their high yield savings account product. So you could see some changes in that fashion. And then also some of this buy now, pay later could change. Maybe the financing options when it comes to purchasing Apple products could change a little bit. But again, the core features and values of the Apple Card will still remain. And if anything, what I'm most curious about is to see how it works in the current Chase ecosystem. A great example to look at is going to be the Bilt card from Wells Fargo, because Wells Fargo has their own actual cards that you can get from Wells Fargo. They're Wells Fargo branded, they have their own perks and benefits, but then you have Bilt MasterCard, and the Bilt MasterCard is backed by Wells Fargo, but it's its own separate product. So you cannot use Bilt points to then combine with Wells Fargo points to do something. So they're two completely different systems, even though it's the same bank and the same issuer. But I'm curious to see how Chase would handle the Apple Card acquisition. Will we be able to use those points in the Chase Ultimate Reward portal, or will it be two completely siloed products, right? The Apple Card will still just be the Apple Card, just owned and run by Chase, or will it be fully adopted into the Chase ecosystem, where it's still the Apple Card, but it still plays nice with things like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and the Preferred, and the Freedom Flex, and the Freedom Unlimited. So in January 2024, there was an estimate that 12 to 15 months was when Goldman Sachs wanted to terminate it from that date. So we're probably looking at March of 2025 for Apple to kind of pull the plug, or Goldman Sachs to pull the plug, and then Apple going over to somebody like Chase in order to continue to stay alive, essentially. So as of right now, there isn't really anything that we can do. We're just gonna have to sit here and wait to see exactly what happens with the Apple Card and how it gets adopted in the Chase ecosystem. I'm definitely all for Chase acquiring the Apple Card. I do like the Apple Card a lot. I personally own one. I don't use it for anything besides Apple products and Apple services because I do like to get that 3% cash back. But it would be amazing if somehow Apple's UI and UX and experience kind of meshes with Chase and its ecosystem and being able to tie everything together. That would be an awesome benefit. But let me know in the comment down below what you think. Is the Apple Card something that you currently own? Is the Apple Card something you've been considering? What do you think of Chase maybe acquiring the Apple Card and all of its business and its customers? And what would you ultimately want out of the Apple Card if it does come over to Chase? Does it stay as a standalone product? Does it come and become adopted by the Chase ecosystem? Let me know in the comment down below, but that's going to do it for this video. If you made it to the end, leave a little dolphin in the comments down below so I know that you made it to the end. And if you want to watch more videos like this one, YouTube thinks you're going to like this video right here, and I think you're going to like this video right here. But until next time, I'm Fernando, and I'm out of here, everybody. Peace.